Before we begin, here's a brief overview of what we will learn today. There are four main topics in this presentation. First, I will explain what HTML is and why it is important. Next, we will look at web browsers and their role in displaying web pages. After that, I will introduce the editors, which are used to write and edit HTML code. Lastly, I will show an example of web coding to help you understand how HTML works in practice. Now, let's start with the first topic. What is HTML? Now, let's start with the first topic, which is what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard markup language used to create web pages. HTML helps structure the content of a website, such as headings, paragraph, image, and links. HTML files are written in plain text and can be created using any text editor, such as Notepad or Visual Studio Code. Hypertext allow users to move from one web page to another by clicking on links. Lastly, HTML was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, who is only known as the inventor of the World Wide Web.
Okay, next I will explain what a web browser is. A web browser is a software application that allows users to access and view websites on the internet. It retrieves web pages from web servers and displays them in a format that is easy for users to read and interact with. Some common examples of web browsers are Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, and also Opera. A web browser is important because it acts as a bridge between users and the internet. Without a web browser, we will not be able to open websites, search for information, watch videos, or use online services.
Next, I will explain what a text editor is. A text editor is a software application used to create, edit, and save plain text files. It is commonly used by programmers to write and modify source code. Unlike Microsoft Word, a text editor does not include advanced formatting features such as fonts, images, or page layouts. Instead, it focuses on editing plain text efficiently. Now, let me introduce two examples of text editors. The first example is Visual Studio Code or VS Code. It is a free text editor developed by Microsoft and is widely used by programmers. VS Code is used to create and edit source code and supports programming languages such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It also provides useful features like syntax highlighting and autocomplete, making coding easier for both beginners and professional developers. The second example is Notepad. Notepad is a basic text editor that comes with Microsoft Windows. It is used to create, edit, and save plain text files. It is commonly used by beginners to write HTML code because it is simple and easy to use. HTML files are saved with the .html extensions, and once saved, they can be opened in a web browser to display the web page. Thank you. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Now I will explain the example of web coding shown on this slide. This is basic HTML code used to create a simple web page. The code starts with the HTML and body text, which form the basic structure of an HTML document. Next, the title tag is used to set the web page title, which is my first web. The background image and text color are also set inside the body section. The image tag is used to display the company logo on the web page. Then ahref text create navigation links such as home, company profile, our managers and contact us. When users click these links, they will be directed to corresponding page. Overall, this example shows how HTML is used to build a simple website with a title, image, and navigation menu.
Moving on, let's look at a fundamental part of web development, opening tags. On this slide, we will focus on three core tags that are absolutely essential for every single web page: HTML, body, and title. First up, we have the HTML tag. Simply put, this tag acts as the outer container for the entire web page. Why does it matter? Because all the elements such as text, image, and layout must be placed inside these HTML tags. Without it, the browser wouldn't recognize the file as an HTML document. Next is the body text. This is where the magic happens. The body tag is where all visible content is displayed to users. It is crucial because it contains everything people usually see when they visit the site, including text, image, background, and link. Essentially, it forms the main content area of the web page. Finally, we have the title text. What this does is set the text that appears directly on the browser tab. For example, if we use the code title, my first web title, the browser tabs will display exactly that, my first web. This is highly important because it helps users quickly identify and recognize your web page, especially when they have multiple tabs open at the same time. Next, let's move on to the content section. Now that we understand the basic text, let's look at how we can customize and beautify the background of our web page using specific attributes inside the body tag. The first option we have is setting an image as our background using the background file name attribute. The concept is very simple. If we want a graphic, a pattern, or a photograph to cover the entire background of our web page, we just need to insert the exact image file name inside this attribute. The second option is changing the solid background color using the BG color attribute. Just a quick technical note here. Unlike the previous attribute, for BG color, we don't use a file name. Instead, we specify a color name like red or blue. This is perfect if you want a clean minimalist design or if you want to match a specific brand color. Moving on, let's look at the two of the most important elements of any web page: image and hyperlinks. These elements are what make a website interactive and visually appealing. First, we have the image element. Its main job is to display picture or graphic on the web page. To do this, we use the image ARC file name tag. The SRC stands for source, which basically loads the image from the specific file. Why does it matter? Well, images are crucial because they make our website much more engaging, eye-catching, and informative for the visitors. Next, we have the hyperlink elements. A hyperlink is a set of clickable links that connects to different sections of the website. As you can see from our example, we use the anchor tag A with the href attribute to link to pages like home, company profile, our managers, and contact us. In simple terms, this creates a clean navigation menu usually placed at the top of the web page, so users can easily click and jump from one page to another. Now that we have covered the content, we need to know how to properly close our document. On this slide, we will look at the closing text, specifically body and HTML. In HTML, almost every tag we open must be closed, and these two are the final piece of the puzzle. First, let's look at the body tag. As we discussed earlier, everything the user actually sees on the web page, like our text, image, button, and links, must go inside the opening and closing body text. When we place this slash body text at the end, we are telling the browser this is the end of all visible page content. Nothing else should be displayed to the user after this tag. Finally, we have the HTML text. Think of the opening HTML and closing HTML text as a giant wrapper. They wrap the entire HTML page from start to finish. This includes the head section, which holds our metadata, titles, styles, and script, as well as the body section that we just closed. Placing this absolute final tag HTML is putting a stamp on a letter. It tells the browser the HTML document is completely finished and there is no more code to read. Okay, last but not least, I would like to conclude our presentations. In conclusion, HTML or Hypertext Markup Language is the basic foundation of every web page. It provides the structure of a website by organizing elements such as headings, paragraph, image, links, and other content. By understanding the basic of HTML, we gain the essential knowledge needed to begin learning web development and digital design. Before I end, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to our lecturer, Encik Samsul Anwar bin Haji Sulaimin, for his guidance and support throughout this project. I would also like to thank all of my group members for their hard work, teamwork, and dedications. Thank you for your attention.